On one side, we have someone who has been playing Wind Waker for a while, and on the other side, we have someone who wants to play Wind Waker.
Yeah, we have a cast skin and a Link to the Past skin.
Beautiful Link to the Past skin. So both of them are going with the pink.
Straight wood for.
And Gymnast seems to be going elsewhere. Yep, he's going for the Cliff Plateau early strat, that a lot of runners are doing currently. Meanwhile, Scaryolive going for the traditional Windfall Island, which is always a good idea because there's a lot of items there.
Yeah, I don't know about the Cliff Plateau start, to be honest.
So, to explain it shortly, he's gonna go inside and get that glitch called storage. And he's gonna use it to kind of walk up walls and get into the top of Cliff Plateau that way.
I was wondering why you end up getting storage, and it always confused me.
So yeah, it's something that a lot of runners seem to be doing now. Because in progression, usually in a race, you will have to go there at some point. So they decide to do it early, in case they get something like the Picto Box that opens more checks on Windfall.
So you get storage now, meaning you can walk up walls. Should we call them walls? They're more like steep slopes.
Yeah, you have to have a little slope. Also, right now he's trying to get it again, so he can do. He can get 2 Bird's Beak right away too. The most confusing part of storage is that all of those chests we don't see an animation for will give him items at the end. They are in his inventory.
So what are we getting from Tingle?
It's time to mingle with Tingo. And a rupee.
Very nice.
And
Wow.
another rupee.
2 purple rupees from Tingle.
Tingle, just making sure we have some pocket money before setting us on our adventure. Or maybe he was bribing us because we're getting out of jail.
Maybe. The pet down payment.
And some more rupees on Gymnast's side.
Loads of rupees off the bat. Oh, does he have the telescope?
Dinsbill, yes. And yes, from what I saw, Gymnast got the telescope from doing all of that. And another pearl, I believe, but I haven't seen the one in particular. Going to activate the side quest with the children. Always a good one to activate first. Lets you do a bunch of things in between.
About to see what we're gonna get from them as well.
I do believe we're one kid away from knowing.
Oh, it's a mirror image, look.
Getting some synchronization up in there. Both going for the same kid at the same time.
Short but sweet. The heroes bow, very nice.
Always nice to see. And Gymnast going for Maggie.
Command melody. And the Deku Leaf. Whoa.
The Deku Leaf always nice to see early. It kinda makes every dungeons a bit trivial.
Lord. So how has Scaryolive been doing anyway? Because he's only just really started in the Wind Waker randomizer.
He's been learning. Let's say he's not the fastest runner around, but he's very dedicated. He's trying to learn a lot of skips. I've even seen him dabble in storage a bit.
What did you just get from Maggie? I didn't see.
Command melody.
Oh, that was earlier.
Yeah, Gymnast did that first.
Ah, right.
Gymnast getting his pocket money from Tingle. Pocket money or bribe money, who knows? And Scaryolive going for Milla. Is he gonna go turn on the windmill? Believe he is. The Milla side quest is kind of a weird side quest because you have a lot of waiting around to do.
There's not really much you can do in the meantime either.
If you don't have the windmill turned on, you can go do that. If you have some mail to go get, you can do that. You have a lot of time.
And yeah, the minicast skin is quite nice.
It's really beautiful. Gymnast going for the last kid right now.
Some silent waiting time. There's Gymnast's bow.
And Miller is finally there. A lot of death boxes, but at least we can just click through them.
Nice bonk.
Gotta love those bonks. Scaryolive keeping the classics, going straight for paw print.
Probably just checking what dungeons he has to do.
Yes, it seems like we're gonna see Wind Temple, Tower of the Gods, Earth Temple, and I believe Forbidden Woods.
Yeah, I think it was Forbidden Woods as well.
We're gonna check again next time someone opens the map, just to be sure. But... And Scaryolive getting the bar bracelets from the salvage corpse.
Pretty nice.
Always nice to see, like, just before getting into that island, because
Yeah,
it
exactly.
turns that island from 1 item to 3 items. Just looking for the entrance. Meanwhile, Gymnast acting like a bird and watching from afar.
Mirror shield already.
Ooh. Getting a lot of nice stuff very early.
And finish it off with a treasure chart. Very nice.
He's going for the 3rd chest. A joy pendant.
Oof. It could have been nice.
The joy
Gymnast
pendant
also
doesn't bring
going.
us any joy.
Unfortunately. Gymnast also going to paw print.
He's gonna be glad to see those power bracelets before going in. Question is though, where is Scaryolive gonna go next?
It's not Dragon Roost for sure.
Since he has the leaf, I think he's gonna want to go to Cliff Plateau. Let's do more items he can get. And he warped at the wrong place, I think. Or maybe he's going for Bomb Island.
Could be.
Either way, it would have been faster to warp to Forest Haven.
Maybe Angular Isles.
He can't get in without the oak shots.
He has the Deku Leaf though.
That is true. It's the longest way to do it, but it does work.
And it is Angular Isles.
Yeah, he's gonna have to climb up that island to go to that other island. Or if he knows, he can actually just... Well, he can't swim up to it, but he can always just leave from the lowest part of the island to that other island with the proper wind.
Yeah, it's not too hard.
Meanwhile, Jin is just getting out of paw print. And he's going to Forest Haven. Scaryolive forgetting to change the wind direction before doing his trick.
Happens to me all the time.
I mean, it's kind of easy to forget that you are a god with power over wind.
Sometimes it just feels like it'll take too long. Trying to save that precious time. Don't need to change the wind.
And then ending up losing it because you didn't change the wind.
Exactly, you know.
It's the kind of mistakes we all make. It's the beauty of wanting to save time. Was gonna say, if that works, that's a new way to do it.
Yeah, I never would have thought of it.
I mean, that cave doesn't respect physics, so maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this top one, ugh, spooky.
Always try
Imagine it
to.
just tilt.
It's a good thing they don't tilt. Meanwhile, Jim is going from the most infamous side. Oh, that's kind of a troll. Getting that in the place where it's easier to get
Damn,
in with.
that's pretty nice.
Meanwhile, Jim is doing some magtail basketball.
I don't mind the puzzle in this island. It's just the moving around on the thin parts. It's like, and then
Yeah,
you slip off.
it's really hard to get. But it kind of looks like it was no trouble for a runner.
Getting a green pearl.
Nice Ferrous Pearl. And he also has Nerus from the storage earlier. I forgot to add that. Scaryolive now going for Demon Step Island. He's going really far left, trying to dodge that annoying sea monster.
Yeah, no, it's happened to me too many times. Now it's like, nah, I'm not gonna fall for it.
Yeah,
You just
just
gotta
go
look for the seagulls.
far to the left and you'll be all right. Yes, that's a pun.
Uh,
It's not a very good one.
I thought I understood it, but I don't.
Just going left to go all right.
Oh, I see now.
It's very bad. You can judge me now.
Eh. Ooh, that floor master almost getting him.
Yep, one of the scariest enemies in the game. Well, Gymnast also going to Angular High.
Bombs on a diamond step, very nice.
Yeah, bombs on Diamond Step. Scaryolive isn't gonna use that hole in the wall, in the floor, I mean, to just get to the second chest.
I can't believe it's just that simple.
You just walk into it and it's done.
I never even knew it was there. Like,
Maggie's letter.
until recently.
It's a very nice thing to know, because that puzzle is annoying in vanilla.
Lord.
Just make a plan.
Gymnast just got his hook shot.
Very nice item to get. And he's heading straight to outset, so he's definitely going to Angular too. I mean, Diamond Step.
Well, it's the fort, isn't it? When you get the, Oh, never mind. Wait. I guess he's not doing it yet. Wait, no, I'm looking at Scaryolive and thinking it's Gymnast. What is wrong?
It's okay, we all make mistakes.
I mean, they could do most of Forbidden Woods at the moment, but what would they be looking for? The grappling hook, and that's it, no?
So
Beetle giving us a treasure chart.
it's always not so nice to see, since in those settings it's pretty much just paper.
I mean, paper's useful.
He's gonna take notes.
The Scaryolive is now with power.
Yep, he's gonna do it the regular way. By bringing a stick up there, by going into a flower, which doesn't turn off the fire. And now he's gonna miss the chest. Exactly like in my first playthrough.
I just realized I was using my microphone webcam. My
You,
webcam mic.
you sound a lot better right now, so I believe it.
Took me a while to realize, my
Went
bad.
from a 5 to a 7. Just some high quality potato mech.
Oh yes.
Some good potatoes. And Gymnast is gonna enter Tower of the Gods. Or at least try to enter.
I mean, he has the bow and bombs, so it's not too bad.
Yep, he has pretty much everything he needs to complete that dungeon.
Ah, Roach, welcome to Wind Waker Randomizer. Not
And
quite Wind.
Scaryolive failing at storage, but it's alright. It's alright, he doesn't know, but we know that what's in Bird's Peak is pretty much useless. And the Skull Hammer. First chest in that dungeon has been the Skull Hammer. And Gymnast getting a map. May seem weird to say, but our runners do not want to see maps. Because if the last two chests in the dungeon are unopened and they still haven't found the map and the compass, they can just skip those. Meanwhile, Scaryolive trying to get into Bomb, at least in the main part of the puzzle. Now Gymnast going out of bounds to skip doing one room in the temple. I do believe he's gonna do that again shortly to get through the first floor. You know what Scaryolive getting is 2 shots of basketball.
Smart way of doing Bomb Island with a hook shot.
It's always nice to have on Bomb Island. Lets you dodge a lot of things.
Jim accidentally breaking the box there.
Yeah, you never want to do that because you need all of those boxes to get the other way. Oh, and Jim is gonna try it with that setup. And sadly, doing a jump slash with it will turn off the fire.
Ouch, that's not very nice to see.
Yeah, sadly, it does that. A piece of art in the mail. Currently, Jim does have a sword upgrade on his side.
Did he receive that in Tower of the Gods?
Yes, I believe in the 4th chest.
Uh-huh.
And Scaryolive also getting into Tower of the Gods now. Should find his sword upgrade too. Gymnast going out of bounds again. This time his mission is to get through that first floor without turning off the waterfall.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I can't roll clip it. It's beyond me.
There's a good lot of ways to do it.
Yes, this is a glitched tourney. They're actually cheating.
Yes, everything is allowed pretty much. So you're gonna see some players go through walls, just abuse every game mechanic they can find. But yeah, that first floor skip, there's many ways to do it. Like you can do what Gymnast did with the bomb, but you can also use the just regular old statues that laying around if you don't have bombs. Let's be honest, if you don't have bombs, what are you doing in Tower of the Gods?
Yeah, there really isn't much to do without bombs in here, is there?
Yep, there's one chest you can get without bombs. And I've seen bombs being in that
Well,
chest before.
technically, you know.
And the bait bag.
You can get more with cheats. I mean glitches.
I mean, if cheating is allowed, everyone can cheat. It's on equal terms still.
Let me just turn on levitate.
I believe that's the one cheat we can't allow.
Oh look, I just somehow managed to get to the credit sequence out of nowhere. It's the wrong warp, guy.
I'm just gonna create my own glitches. I'm gonna call this one a storage sliding.
Oh gosh, imagine storage sliding in SD.
Yeah,
It's already
item
got
sliding
storage.
would be a bad thing already, but imagine just combining storage and item sliding. And Scaryolive finding a piece of art. Gymnast is gonna get something from that rock. He kinda hoping for something that shouldn't be in a rock. Like in a seed earlier, they just got mail from it. And he gets the big boss key.
Big boss.
Yep. It's not just a boss, it's a big boss.
Big boss.
Also,
Like
my
Snake.
friend Scaryolive is gonna demonstrate what I said, that you can just use regular old statue to do those. It's kind of finicky. You have to place it at the exact location, which isn't in the corner. So you should leave a bit more space for it to work.
He's getting it, but he keeps letting go. Oof.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy mistake to make. It's very easy to click on.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether you button mash on.
And he got it. Now
Very
he's gonna
nice.
float to the water. Hopefully I have enough. And no, he's gonna avoid it.
Yeah, Baggius, this is glitchless.
It's glitchless, that's why he's currently outside the bounds. It's not a glitch, it's just a suggestion.
An unintended feature.
I mean, it's a feature. It's almost like Bethesda made that game.
Yeah, Baggius, this is, any glitches allowed, everything goes.
I think the only rule is that if somehow we find Bear Skip in SD in the tournament, we won't use it.
Yeah, it would defeat the point of the randomizer.
But currently in SD, there's no way to get enough speed to actually do it, so it shouldn't happen. At least we think.
It's hypothetical.
Maybe with the power of
get it.
power sliding.
Eventually, like, however long it takes for a decent runner to look for it. I mean, it's unrealistic at this point in time.
It shouldn't happen, but if it happens, we're all gonna be happy.
I don't think anyone runs SD anymore, do they?
There's still a few runners, but they're the most active people in the world.
There's only one default run in the game. You can't gain enough speed to get through the barrier.
Yeah, sadly, that's the one thing that's stopping them. They have tried it in SD with a cheat to go faster, and it works. So it's only the speed that's keeping them from doing it. Scaryolive going for a dip in the pool.
No box is broken this time, though.
That's always nice. Takes a lot less time to get them in place that way. A piece of art for Gymnast. Scaryolive finding a small key. While Gymnast finds another one. That makes two. That's every small key in that dungeon.
I thought Scaryolive was leaving for a second.
No, sadly, once you glitch your way into that room, there's no way out. Since the barrier stood up, so
Ah, right.
you have to just save warp out of there.
Surprisingly, no bottles yet.
Yeah, it's rare. Usually, most runners are hoping to have a bottle and the soup before going into Tower of the Gods, because most of the skips there require some magic. And Gymnast now going for his third statue.
Very
So,
nice, easy skip here.
Yeah, it's not the hardest skip in the world. But if you fail it, in our case right now, it wouldn't be the end of the world because they do have the common melody, which is the vanilla way of doing things. Takes a bit longer, but it can save your ass.
Beats having to save reset.
And the reset in Tower of the God when they did the first floor skip is kind of hard. It means they have to do that skip all over again if they save warp.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be good practice, but we're not in a practice run right now. Scaryolive opening that warp pot. That's a warp pot that has been added in the randomizer. It can make you warp between the first three dungeons, aka Dragon Rose Cavern, Forbidden Woods, and Tower of the Gods.
I thought it works with Wind Temple as well. And
Yes, there's another set of pots between Earth Temple, Wind Temple, and Forsaken Fortress.
oh, I didn't know that they were separated like that.
Yeah, I do believe they haven't found a way to make more than 3 pots in a system. They can't just use the same pots that they have in the game for inside the dungeons.
Picto box in the boss key chest.
It's a nice item to get. That opens 3 more locations on one fall.
It used to be only the one, but it's quite nice that the 2 chests that you have to go past have items you need in now.
Yes, that's one thing that's been added to the rotation, and that I think is a good thing. It's wonderful to have more checks on one fall, because there's not enough of those.
Never enough, clearly.
I was rooting for tingle chests, but that's double dipping every dungeon.
Yeah.
Well, unless you have a seed like today and you have the bounce before entering your first dungeon, but still. I know a lot of people were pushing for Great Fairies too.
Yeah, Great Fairies wouldn't be too bad in my opinion.
Wouldn't be too bad, but in the end, they decided against it to keep it the shortest possible. Which isn't a bad thing since we're trying to do this fast. So, fun fact about Golden that our friend Gymnast is fighting right now. If you have the fire and ice arrows, you can use them on the hands to kill them in one shot.
You ever had a seed where you end up getting light arrows really early on?
Well, not necessarily a seed where you have those arrows really early, but a seed where you can't enter that dungeon until late. You can do that. Scaryolive trying for Jack's flips. It seems a bit weird, but when you're just done crouching on the ground, you can actually grab the statue through the floor. Gymnast is done with Golden. He's gonna get his first piece of the Triforce. Because we are in race settings, and every boss our runners will fight today will have a piece of the Triforce for them. So in a way, bosses are required for those seeds.
Gymnast going back to Windfall, probably to hand in his Pick the Box quest.
That's 3 really fast checks he can do, so why not? He also has some mail. It's the mail for getting the bombs, and it's just a treasure chart. So very important part of doing those Pictobox checks, you have to go talk to Lenzo before going to the second floor of his house, or else the door will be locked. You only have to talk to him. No need to do anything else, and then it will be open for you.
Yeah, these are the 2 chests we were talking about earlier.
Oh, Tingle statue, the best item in the game.
There's the grappling hook.
Which is actually the best item in the game. Well, at least in the vanilla game, it's kind of the item that lets you do a lot of things. Also, by getting the grappling hook, he opened up one more location in Paw Print that Ash Chest didn't check. Before going out of Lenzel's place, just take a picture of him at a lady to show to some more ladies. Because in Wind Waker Randomizer, there is a price.
Get involved with some gossip.
Yep, and the price for gossiping is just a tingle chart. There's a lesson to be learned there. Don't gossip, guys. And Scaryolive trying for the second time to get Critmo Hop. Is he gonna try it a third time? No, he looks to be setting up to do it the vanilla way. No shame in that.
Yeah, I mean, I've done Cosmo Hop once, but I just can't seem to get it down now.
It's kind of a precise setting to get.
Yeah, it's basically the same for all of the Tower of the Gods like tricks. I've done them at least once, but I just can't seem to figure it out.
In general, I think getting Jack's clips is kind of the easiest one. Grabbing the statue to the floor.
Yeah, no, that's the one I have the most trouble with.
Really?
Yeah.
You just stand up and mash A.
Pretty much. I'm not that good at mashing.
It's okay. We all have our strengths. And somehow I spaced out enough to not see what Gymnast got.
Oh, I didn't even notice either.
Well, we're gonna find out. Or if we don't, we're gonna pretend it wasn't important. Thank you, chat. It was just an orange rupee.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you, chat, for being more alert than we are. So, since nothing important is in Forest Haven itself, most of our runners now will just jump out of their boats and ride the tornado from there. Meanwhile, Scaryolive getting his boomerang. So yeah, right now Gymnast has everything he needs to complete that dungeon. Forbidden Woods as a wall. And he just got the iron boots. Opening up Wind Temple. And a second Master Sword upgrade.
Nice start to Forbidden Woods so far.
Yep, starting to look like Value Woods. Gymnast getting the ghost ship chart, which is completely useless in our settings, but still nice to see. I gotta say that I love the fact that Cass is using his accordion as a shield.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even notice.
For a while I was just looking at it like, what is that boxy thing on his back? Gymnast is just going further into Forbidden Woods right now.
Quite a large difference between them at the moment.
Yes, I do hope we see Scaryolive finish that dungeon before Gymnast is done with the Forbidden Woods.
I think maybe they'll be finishing roughly around the same time.
I think so too, but I'm just hoping for his confidence. Gymnast getting that warp bot open. One of my favorite skips in the game.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get that angle right.
It's just a pretty skip. Saves about 30 seconds at most, but it's still amazing. Oh, we're coming up to another nice skip. One of the few places in the game where damage boosting can be useful. And Forbidden Wood Bisky. So yeah, Gymnast is gonna get hurt, right? And then he's gonna be able to roll straight through the vines, skipping a huge part of the maze. And he's getting the maximum reward for it, a Tingle statue. Are we gonna see the legendary Tingle tuner tonight?
Oh, if only. I've been waiting and waiting.
I mean, officially, we can use it in tournaments if we find it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not counted in logic, but still. It can be a solid bomb replacement if you don't have them.
And you could also use the zombie hover. God forbid.
Perfectly legal, but unused for now.
Maybe we'll get a puppet cannon skip someday.
Sadly, I think our friend Scaryolive didn't jump from that fast enough, and will now have to use the vanilla way of doing that puzzle. And 10 rupees for our friend Gymnast. Oh, instead of going for the vanilla way, he's trying to damage boost with a bomb above the barrier.
Can you do that?
Yes, you can.
I haven't
If
seen
you
that
don't
yet.
have if you don't have the leaf, you can even do it on both sides. Wants to get in
Dang.
and wants to get out.
That's nice.
Wasn't sure about it myself, but I asked Rog last time I talked to him, and he said it was possible. Do you believe it's
Was
possible?
so annoying.
Yep, the keys are the most annoying enemies in the game. Not strong, just annoying. So just a pop quiz. Do you know which enemy in the game is the hardest?
The hardest.
Yep. Does the most damage.
Oh, are we including bosses or?
You can include everything in the game.
I gotta think about it.
Think about it really, because you're not gonna expect the answer. Chat, you can also place your bets if you know which enemies is the hardest in the game. And first guess gets it. It's the pig on Outset Island.
Oh, but it's
And
not really an enemy though, is it?
Well, it can do damage, so I'm gonna count it as an enemy.
Okay,
And
fine.
it's 3 arts of damage. which is more than Ganondorf. He's the true last boss of the game.
Oh lord. Just imagine it, the water starts falling.
The pigs just start pouring in. They invade Hyrule.
Just hear Roinks coming in from the background.
I mean, in some games, Ganondorf is supposed to be kind of a pig, but...
Gravity can do more than 3 hearts at once. Lord.
Well, that's debatable, because in that game it only does 1/4 of art.
It can do more.
You have to fall from pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, half a heart isn't that uncommon. From the top of Ganon's tower to the puppet Ganon, like, fight pit, it does
That's
half a
one pit
heart.
you don't want to fall to. And Gymnast getting
the same for Helmrock. What did he get, sir?
He did get the same piece of mail, Boblin's letter, but right now our runners don't have the delivery bag for those.
Rip.
I really don't know what Scaryolive is trying to do, because he could just get it.
I think he wanted some health, but just couldn't.
I mean, if he wants out, he's gonna get plenty before going to see Golden, so... Oh, he's gonna get it.
I think it's just for getting past these, what are these enemies? I got told recently.
Honestly, I have no idea of the name of those, so I'm gonna call them Julie, Bob, and Paul.
Okay. Just taking some damage here and boosting for it.
And it's time for Golden.
Master Hand.
Meanwhile, Gymnast seems to be heading straight to Calidemos. Pulling a bomb. Getting a piece of art. The last chance he's gonna get before going to the boss. The thing with Calidemos is that it's a very fast fight. Don't blink, guys. Don't blink.
Trying to set up a quick kill here. Ooh. Very nice.
And with the Double Master Sword, it should take only one cycle. And Gymnast getting his second piece of the Triforce. Meanwhile, Scaryolive playing with our friend Golden. The not so friendly neighbor of Golden.
Looks like he's having a bit of trouble.
Like I said, Golden isn't the friendliest of guys.
some
But he's
snotty
friendly enough
arrows.
to give us the way to kill him. I mean, he's not the worst guy.
Not the worst boss in the game for sure.
And Gymnast getting a bigger wallet.
That means more mail.
Yep, it's another piece of mail that's being unlocked by that. So he's just gonna wait for it.
And for another wallet upgrade. Rip.
I mean, that's a good business strategy. Send money for people to come to your store.
I think otherwise.
So currently, Gymnast having a full dungeon clear over our friend Scaryolive. And he's going for Wind Temple. Scaryolive warping back to Windfall. We're gonna get to see some wonderful Zelda logic in action. Because when you're wearing iron boots, it's hard to walk, but if you side jump, it's easy. They ain't heavy anymore.
Have I ever said how much I hate Wind Temple?
I do believe you have mentioned that earlier.
God,
You
it's
happy?
awful.
Are you happy? You're gonna see someone else do it for you.
Yeah. It looks nice when someone else does it, but I just can't figure out the tricks.
Just open up your notebook and watch. Yep, that seed is very weird about the bottles. An hour in and still no bottles in sight.
Hey, what is my seed? We have yet to see how it ultimately turns out.
Yeah, you rolled the seed for tonight. So every single statue that we see is your fault.
Lord, what? It's been 2 so far, right?
3 so far.
Ooh, there's only 5.
Are we gonna see the full set? If we see the full set, I'm gonna be amazed. If we have all 5 Dingle statues, you can believe I'm gonna ask the runners to go see what's the reward for them.
Yeah, just like spam them in the IRC.
And Scaryolive getting a wonderful Dingle statue. Gymnast finding a small key. It's kind of
Yeah,
nice.
not so beautiful grappling hook.
Yeah, who needs a grappling hook when you have Tingle statues? You didn't know that? If you find all 5 in Randomizer, it warps you to the credits. That would be beautiful.
New run warp.
Just say no to the game.
Auto win. It's like the 5 pieces of Exodia.
The 5 pieces of Tingle.
The forbidden one.
It's a Tingle if you say. I mean, we have 3 Tingle statues, and we also have the Tingle chart.
Gosh.
It's almost like it's like he's trying to be relevant. He wants us to mingle with him.
Cute little fairy.
Another strange thing about Tingle, well, at least Tingle Island. On Tingle Island, there's him and 2 guys dressed the same way as him, and well, the pink one is called Knuckle,
Oh no.
and the white one is just called David Jr.
What this is?
And according to the lore, David Jr. has been enslaved and is forced to work for Tingle.
That's dark.
Yep, that's the darkest thing in the game. And it's coming from Tingle. Who would I guess? And there's also another Tingle brother that can free in the vanilla game by using the Tingle tuner at the right spots. And I have forgotten his name.
I have no clue, honestly.
Honestly, I'm gonna go grab my game guide for Wind Waker just to know. Give me a second.
I don't know what hero wins. He might not. I'm not too sure.
I do believe I've told him about it, but he doesn't seem to remember right now. Some A Link to the Past sounds right now.
Where did they come from?
Well, I do believe it's from Scaryolive string. It's probably someone from the French A Link to the Past community that just subbed to him something.
Ah, I see.
I mean, Rywick is going all crazy in the chat right now. I do believe that's him. So yeah, I'm looking at the guide for the Wind Waker right now, and I can't believe it, but every item we found in the game is wrong. It's not the same
What do you
in
mean?
Manual.
Oh.
I don't believe it. That manual is poorly made. No item match. Absolutely none of them. Oh, except for the first small key in Dragon Roost Cavern. That's there.
I mean, the Earth Temple is going to be the same, isn't it? In the first room's a key. Or am I wrong there?
I do think there's a way for it to not be a key. Because the first room with the shoes in it is blocked by bars that you have to take off by defeating them.
Oh, right, right.
And so after a lot of research, I've found out that the last of the Tingle brother is called Ankle.
Just ankle.
Yep, Tingle, Ankle, Knuckle, and David Jr. One of those doesn't sound like the others. And Scaryolive seems to be going for Bird's Beak right now. Since he has the bait bag, that place is in logic. Even if we remember that it only has some rupees for us.
Yeah, it was a silver rupee, wasn't it?
Yep, 200 rupees. And Gymnast really wants to get that thing. Just showing off some glitches for you. Some people are believing that Gymnast is being replaced by someone because he doesn't get this the first time.
Not real, Jim.
It's Gymnast. Do you think he's gonna get it? Oh no, he missed it. That's a nice little clip on Scaryolive's side. If you don't want to use the bait bag, you can just phase through. And
Oh yeah,
usually it works.
it's quite a nice, simple trick. Takes a few tries.
Usually takes a few tries. But after a while you get a feel for it and you can kind of do it every time. The one thing that's kind of counterintuitive, and I think Scaryolive is doing right now, is you have to let go of the joystick for it to work. If you touch it, it doesn't. And he's now getting angry at the game.
He's going a bit far back as well.
Yeah, you have to let go before you. And the deluxe picto box. While its name may sound very good, the deluxe picto box only opens one location on Windfall Island. Luxury. Yep, I do believe that's from his dream. And Scaryolive finally gets it.
Very nice.
Gotta start with those small skips, and one day you will learn how to do everything. So that's another nice skips on Gymnast's side right now. If you do it properly, you can break every of those bits of floor without going through. And on the last one, you have to use a bomb so you don't fall through during the cutscene. Also, you can use a bomb there to boost your way up and get 2 chests before doing the puzzle. And he gets Winsgard area, which would have been very useful like 5 minutes ago when he was trying to get a skip. And Scaryolive is finally warping back to Forest Haven. You believe he's going there? For real this time?
All that for a silver rupee.
Yep, it's always sad when that happens. Oops, changing the wind direction manually. It's always a thing you can do. Most runners seem to opt for opening the cell and then unopening the cell very fast.
Fire and ice arrows for Jim.
Yep, and I just switched the audio for is because we're getting close to the Mulgara fight. Also because the audio should be on the player ahead, usually. We just forget about that.
Nice.
Oh my god, that skin just got better. I do believe Cass has a custom voice back.
Oh.
Scaryolive getting his iron boots. And Gymnast getting Earth God Lyric, which is gonna be useful on our last temple of the day. Yep, that just confirms it. Cast the custom voice back. And I thought that skin was too good. It keeps impressing.
Jim trying to get the bottom floor skip here. Get past that fan.
Yep, it's a very important skip if you don't want to do a good part of the dungeon. So I gotta say, the music from Wind Temple is really chill.
I mean, the music in this game in general is really nice.
Yeah, it's a very good game for music. So Gymnast is currently between two doors, waiting for the fans to stop. He gave up on that first skip and just did another skip. When the first skip doesn't work, just skip that skip and go to the next skip. So I gotta say, that's some weird seed. 1 hour and a half in, about that, and we still don't have a single bottle, and we don't have a delivery bag.
Woo. I mean, there's only one letter they have anyway. Oh,
No,
actually two.
Gymnasts do, yeah. And the mail is just items waiting for us.
Here comes some pretty sweet music now.
Yep, the Mogura fight is gonna happen. Some of the best music in the game.
Oh, the difference is just so clear though. It's really unfortunate for Scaryolive. Ooh, I'm falling in Forbidden Wood.
Yeah, sadly for Scaryolive, he's kind of playing one of the best Wind Waker players in the world, so... And Jim missing the skip. There's a small window in that fight where you can catch Mogura in the air and bring him back to the floor. Sadly, no Solitram. The Wind Waker Randomizer doesn't offer that yet. Randomizer music seems to be in the workings though. And he gets the last air snipe. Kinda sad the music is over around.
Rip.
Jim now has his 7th piece of the Triforce. He only needs one more, and it's currently in our temple.
What do you think about Earth Temple? Do you prefer it, or what's the better of the two laters? Do you reckon?
I actually don't hate any of the dungeons in the game, so...
Oh, really? You don't
Yeah.
have your preferences or anything.
Well, my favorite dungeon is Forbidden Woods. I don't even know why. I just enjoy doing it. I think it flows well. But in general, when I open a seed and I see dungeons, I'm never unhappy. Kinda always wishing for that Forsaken Fortress though, because it's the fastest dungeon.
Yeah, nice and easy. Get it done in about 10 minutes.
Yep, you only need 6 checks. Yes, in our current settings, our runners need all 8 pieces of the Triforce, the fully upgraded Master Sword, and they also need light arrows to get through the end of the game.
There's a
Okay,
cabana, dude. Still no delivery back though.
That's a shame. But maybe it will be in that chest. And no, just rupees. It's the reverse from the vanilla game. We get annoyed when we see rupees.
I mean, they aren't really needed that much, apart from for like the trade-in side quests.
Yeah.
Yes, potato, they are both on the same seed.
They are both on the wonderful seed roll by our friend Potato Mech.
There's another wallet upgrade for Jim.
Yep, the final wallet upgrade. Sadly, in our set of rules, the Pictobox will only get him the something from Menenko. The other quests that the item usually lets you do in the game aren't in progression. They aren't in logic. And Jim is heading straight to our temple. Not doing any more overworld checks. He's probably hoping to find his light arrows in the temple itself. Kinda weird to see a bird use a leaf to fly, but alright. So right now the goal of that room is to kill every chew to open the door to the next room. But there's also a chest in the middle that you could get. And he finds a small key. I believe there's 3 keys of that kind in that dungeon. So right now, compared to the vanilla game, Gymnast has access to the mirror shield, so he can actually choose where he's gonna go in the dungeon first. It's always a good idea to open the basement first, because it will get the room rid of all that nasty fog that keeps you from attacking. And even if you want just to get to the right by hitting the peg, you will be able to do it a lot easy. It will be easier to do it. And here's another chest that you can get without the mirror shield. And it's another small key. Getting all those small keys out of the way early, it seems. And now to the third chest of the dungeon. And it has the light arrows. So right now, Gymnast is one Master Sword upgrade away from Go mode. That's the one thing he's still looking for. So here, that room has a puzzle, but if you don't want anything to do with puzzles, you can prepare a bomb, just wait for it to get close to exploding, jump and fly, and it will bomb boost you up. And for guessing that the light arrows were in that dungeon, you get, well, my admiration. Congrats, man. Good job. And Gymnast finally gets that bomb boost. Just give your golf claps in the chat. So as you can see, our friend Gymnast just left Medley in another room, because in most of the rooms of the beginning of the dungeon you only need Medley to reflect the light, and since he has the mirror shield already, he doesn't need her. Yes, sadly it is canon that if we don't find a bottle and bring a fairy to Grandma, she will sadly die. Yes, you can get a handshake. Just gotta go find me and give me the handshake. Might take a while. But trust me, it's worth it. So while we're in kinda, well, I would call it calm spot of the game, you can follow both of the runners. You can follow both of our runners on their respective Twitch. Scaryolive on Twitch.tv. That's Scaryolive and Twitch.tv for Gymnast. They're both excellent runners, some having a better day than the other, but still, they're both very entertaining. Yes, that's the main difference in the run right now. Gymnast was far more consistent, had better movement, but they did exactly the same routes for some reason. Scaryolive had trouble with some skips where Gymnast didn't have. So Gymnast is using his hook shot to just skip that boss. Well, that mini boss. And now he got the delivery bag for it. And Scaryolive getting is fantastic Moblin's letter, which we now know won't be accessible until he gets into our temple. So since you guys seem to like to guess things, where do you think our final Master Sword upgrade is gonna be? I'm open for bets, suggestions. Just go ahead. Tell us where you think it is. Oh, I see some people are hoping for the maze chest, but sadly, the maze chest isn't in logic for this because we need the fully upgraded Master Sword to break the barrier to get to the maze chest. Some people are saying grandma. Also, the auction house is not in the rule sets for this randomizer, this race in particular. But if you want to play the Wind Waker randomizer and put it in the settings, it's totally possible. There's so many options. Like you can put every sea maps in it. You can put every single statue chest in it. You can put absolutely everything in the game in it, and you can even randomize the entrance of the dungeons and the entrance for the secret caves too. Also, it's totally possible that after you grandma, you will have another bottle from it. It's definitely a thing that can happen. And Gymnast is going to kill all of the floor masters in that room, using a good old technique that is to freeze their floor masters and then crush them with the hammer. You can also use the light arrows, but that consumes more magic. And in general, most runners will use the Master Sword with Grandma's Soup to kill them in 2 hits, I believe. But right now, that's not really an option for us. Yes, it very well might be a bottleless seed we have tonight. And a bold prediction for Master Sword, third upgrade being in our temple itself. But it's the randomizer. You never know where those things are gonna be. It's totally possible. And Scaryolive defeating Kalidemos. Sometimes things happen and you can't just one phase a boss. It's sad. Yeah, it's literally free with the Master Sword, but it's definitely possible to mess up an input and miss, sadly. Someone is betting on the mirror room for the Master Sword. Kind of a mean prediction. Oh, and our bottle-less seed is now ruined by a bottle. But you know what? That means Grandma is in logic now. So the people betting for Grandma, you're getting closer to your wish. Scaryolive getting his first wallet upgrade. And he's gonna do like Gymnast and wait for the day to come to get another piece of mail. And Gymnast is finally entering the many mirrors room, which is a room that is getting famous in the game for being one of the longest puzzles in the game. But in Randomizer, here's a wonderful thing. You can skip about half of that place by doing some precise positioning with Medley. So you take Medley and you fly on top of that mirror, and then you can use her to aim at yourself. And it opens up that first chest, and now it opens up a crypt. Now it opens up that third chest. And in the first chest we have a dungeon map. Also, Scaryolive is now getting back into the room with Calidemus because he forgot to pick up his Triforce piece. He's even taking a picture to remember it. So Scaryolive finally getting his 6th Triforce shard. And Gymnast is using a very fast way to kill those enemies. You bomb them, and then you immobilize the head with the boomerang, and then smash them with the hammer. Yes, Gymnast found another bottle. So right now we have 2 bottles in our temple. And the chat now calling, someone in chat now calling that Grandma is gonna go have nothing for us, just some rupees. You're just hoping for Grandma that gives us pocket money. And he's now finding in that last chest a piece of art. And sadly, the dream for Master Sword in our temple is now dead. The only thing left in that dungeon is now to take on the boss. The boss is called Jahala. It's a big ghost made of smaller ghosts. It's a ghost in a ghost. That's a lot of ghosting. And instead of lifting Jahala, he lifts up a small skull on the ground. So a popular technique in the community is to throw bombs around to kill some of the ghosts for you. Yep, it's another enemy that does the ho sound. Cass does O, the ghost does the hose, and everybody does that sound. So a very nice thing to have those light arrows in that fight. They allow you to completely skip the mechanic of that boss, which is to direct sunlight in it, and just go for that instead. And meanwhile, Gymnast has just defeated the last boss of the run. Well, the last boss with a piece of the Triforce on him, but he will still have to find his light arrows and then go down in Hyrule. So right now the only thing Gymnast is looking for is the last Master Sword upgrade. In the race mode we're in right now, only 4 dungeons can have progression items. The other 2 hold absolutely nothing of importance to us. It's one way we found to make the run a bit faster. No, the cannon towers are not, the rocket towers are not in the rotation for the items we need. If I can get the setting real quick, just let me open up something. So in this tournament, the settings are dungeons, puzzle secret caves, short side quests, free gifts, mail. Both our runners start with a sword, 4 Triforce shards, and the game is in race mode, which means only 4 locations in the game, 4 dungeons in the game, will hold progression items. The other ones will hold pretty much scraps and can be dodged at all costs. And Gymnast going for a smart move, mailing Maggie's letter before going to deliver Moblin's letter, because both require checks that are inside that same house. And delivering Moblin's letter gives us a piece of art. Kind of fitting because it's a love letter. Gymnast now starting the Zunari side quest, which is a new quest in the rotation, which is a training quest. A lot of people believe is very long in the vanilla game, but actually you only need to go to Great Fish once and trade both flowers with the same guy to get that quest done. Well, at least the part of the quest that we're interested in. After getting Exotic Flower, our friend Zunari, the Eskimo salesman, will have an item for us. And Gymnast is now warping to Outset Island. Does he have a fairy on him? No, he's going back to our temple. Why does he do that? Gymnast is now going back to our temple, which is kind of puzzling me. That's actually a good guess. Maybe he forgot to pick up that piece of the Triforce. And that's the second time in this run that a runner forgets a piece of the Triforce. So let's hope he got the memo and he's gonna take a picture of it to remember it. Like our friend Scaryolive already did. I'm honestly waiting for him to take the pictures too. Yep, it's that kind of run. Both runners forgot a piece of the Triforce in the boss rooms. Gymnast is gonna multitask that. Oh, I don't. Oh, no, he's not moving anymore. So he's going straight for the piece. And I think he's kind of puzzled right now because it seems like that's not even the piece he forgot. He forgot a piece at another boss. So right now Gymnast is gonna have to go look again. Oh, he's entering back into our temple. Yeah, oh yes, he's gonna use those warp pots that are conveniently placed in the randomizer between dungeons to go check Wind Temple now, I believe. Is that kind of seed, guys? If you also pick the Wind Temple one, it might actually be in Forbidden Woods, which is the dungeon where Scaryolive forgot his piece of the Triforce. That would be actually pretty funny. And no, he just found it. It was in Earth Temple, actually. So we went to the boss room 3 times. To first time forget the piece, then second time not notice the piece, and third time getting it. Here it is, straight right where we left it. So just a friendly reminder that both of our runners today kind of forgot about those pieces. Yeah, we can't script that. That is for sure. And now our friend Gymnast is now warping to Tower of the Gods to go to the private oasis. He has a cabin indeed. So we can actually do that. Oh yeah, you guys are better believe I'm gonna tell him that in the interview. I have a bunch of questions prepared. And by a bunch of questions, I mean one question. And it's gonna be, how does it feel to forget the piece of the Triforce in the boss room? So, the private oasis is actually a good reminder of a sacred rule of the Wind Waker Randomizer, and that rule is that walls are suggestion. Just look at that. Don't blink, it's gonna go fast. Oh, you better believe I'm gonna tell him the other guy forgot one too. It's gonna be amazing. And if you jump slash with the hammer through the wall, you just hit those pegs through the wall, and you can just skip most of that labyrinth. Which is why often we refer to that chest as the first chest, even if it's the second chest in the room. And it's the third bottle. So right now, Gymnast is gonna settle behind that ladder and settle behind that one too. And with the hookshot, he can actually just hookshot his way through the walls to the chest. All of that for an orange rupee. And good dramatic ho coming from the canon melody. Yes, that chest normally has an orange rupee. The only thing Jim needs right now is the final Master Sword upgrade. That's the one thing keeping him from getting in go mode, in actual go mode. He's gonna go look for it. Yeah, seems like most of the chat want to see Grandma have the last Master Sword upgrade, but seems like Gymnast doesn't want to believe it, and he's just going further checks. Right now he's on Ice Ring, which is a pretty fun island because it's the one island in the game with ice physics. And who doesn't like some good ice physics? Yeah, not going to save Grandma as soon as you can is kind of a morally gray area of the game. And I have to ask Gymnast about this. And in the end, not going for Grandma was the right thing, apparently. And now, at 2 hours and 1 minute, Gymnast is in go mode. The dream is dead and Grandma is definitely dead too. Sorry, Grandma Dorf. You will be missed. And we're now in Iroh. We're gonna be soon at my favorite trick of the randomizer. Favorite skip of the game, actually. And that skip is a very important skip. I call it the barrier skip. It's a skip that allows you to skip the bear skip. Because you actually have the Master Sword to break the barrier. Ain't that beautiful? Also, guys, eye protection. There's gonna be a lot of falling glass. And it's time for bear skip. Yes, Master Sword was at Ice Ring Island. And now Jin is just ignoring every enemy in his way and going straight for Puppet Ganon, Phantom Ganon, and Ganon himself. The light arrows were in Earth Temple. Well, that's why you need also some health protection. Good helmet. Green hat, maybe. Just something to protect yourself. So another nice thing about the randomizer is you can actually skip the boss rematches with a nice quality of life option. You go straight to Puppet Ganon, Phantom Ganon, and Ganon. The Ganon Gang. And Gymnast just says no to Phantom Ganon. That's the beauty of having light arrows as we get in. Yes, the refights are an option. You can enable those in the options of the randomizer. There's a bunch of options, and you pick what you want. But in our settings, the race mode, we prefer to skip them because it's a bit faster. Actually, it's not even part of the race mode settings. I'm looking at it right now, and it's just a setting you can check and uncheck. And it's time for Puppet Ganon. Here's the first snipe. The second snipe. It's the third. Fourth shot is also a miss. And the fifth shot is the charm. A very quick first phase. Not the quickest possible, but extremely quick your way. And it's time for the second phase of Puppet Ganon. The spider phase. hitting the first shot and missing that snipe. The one thing about Randomizer is it's hard to find an average. Most players will finish their seeds between 2 and 3 hours, but it all depends on the seed and how good it is. So in harder seeds, it's normal to have more time, and sometimes you can have very quick seeds that only last an hour and a half. It can be shorter at 1 hour and a half. It's about the lowest I saw. And it can be longer at 3 hours more, depending on your skills. And it's over for Puppet Ganon. Now Gymnast only has to fight Ganon, the last enemy of the game. The big baddie is the one thing he has to do before it's over. Yes, Flarzo, they are both on the same seed. Not at the same stage of the game, but they are on the same seed. So it's now time to enjoy my, you can't say really favorite part of the game, but just the silent climbing. Oh, Gymnast opting to backflip onto those chains and do that quick little skip. Yes, it's now time for Mortal over skip. Because we have the hook shot. Yeah, Fairy Over is replaced by hook shotting. I do believe that's how the people who created the game intended it, but it's kind of sad to see. Gymnast already well into his Ganon fight. Already reaching third phase. The third phase, where he's gonna have to reflect a light arrow into Ganon. And GG, it's over. With a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, 38 seconds, and some little bits, Gymnast has finished the race. So give your GGs in the chat, and we're gonna see if we're gonna have Gymnast in an interview or not. Just gonna go check that out real fast. Yes, sadly, my co-commentator has something coming up and had to go take care of a little something. He's gonna go save Grandma. Should be back at some time. Maybe another race. It's our mission. But our friend Potato Mech is up for the challenge. Meanwhile, we're back on Scaryolive's audio. He's currently in one temple. In one temple. I do believe in one of the mini boss rooms. And we have with us Gymnast, the winner of the race for today. Hello, Gymnast.
Hello.
What would you think about that seed?
I thought the seed was very linear.
Extremely linear. Like, Scaryolive might be behind you by a good lot, but you guys did exactly the same route.
Yeah, it wasn't until like the end when there was like some potential difference in routing, which was pretty much just like finding the last Master Sword upgrade.
Yeah, it was just... actually, I have talked to you about that. Everyone in the chat is kind of disappointed that you didn't go heal Grandma. Because...
Oh, well, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary, but in canon, if you don't heal her, she dies, so they're a bit bummed about that. So right now my co-commentator is going to save her himself. Started a seed just for that. Gonna be back someday. It's the Save Grandma Foundation.
Good luck.
Also, another weird thing about that seed, no bottles until the last dungeon.
Yeah, didn't get any bottles until Earth Temple. I mean, I would have gone to heal Grandma earlier, but the game didn't want to give me any bottles.
Yeah, the game was just waiting for her to die, I swear. So yeah, also no delivery bag until that last dungeon.
Yeah, that also.
Also, I'm gonna mention a little something. You forgot to pick up a piece of the Triforce.
Yeah, we... I don't know. I was just on autopilot there, because in runs that aren't 100% for the original game, you never pick up the heart container.
Yeah, you never pick up that. But do you want to laugh a little?
Well, yeah,
you aren't you aren't the only the only runner in our race tonight that did that.
Oh, Scaryolive did that also?
Yeah, Scaryolive forgot to pick up the piece of the Triforce from Kelly Demos, and you forgot the one on Jala. So everybody was kind of laughing in the chat because you were the second person to do it.
Yeah, if it occurs 3 times, that's interesting.
Also, gotta say that Scaryolive got a bit of extra points from me, just because he took the time to take a picture of the piece of the Triforce he forgot.
I should have done that. I didn't think about that.
I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's still open. You could just restart the seed and go do it.
Nah, I think
it's not the best time save.
Yeah, it was also weird how both the Wind God's aria and the Earth God's lyric were in Wind Temple.
I know, right? Also, you had a bit of trouble skipping that song for like right where Scaryolive is right now.
Yeah, that's not an easy one to get past. But
no, it's really not.
I was like, okay, this is like I was sure that it was probably not going to be something useful, but it actually was something useful. It was the big key, so I'm glad that I pushed through and did it, even though I died.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to see you try it again and again. It's kind of how you learn how people do things when they fail them a little. Like you see what you don't have to do.
Yeah. And then, of course, I died to the Dark Nut fight in Twin Temple.
Yeah, that can happen when you have no soup. No soup, about 5 hearts at most. It's kind of a rough randomizer, really. Not a lot of health, and all the enemies just sit like rocks.
Yeah. But there have been better seeds, so I think we can put this one behind us.
Yeah, it's not the best seed ever. Just gonna blame it on Potato Mech, because he's the one that rolled it. Should get back from saving Grandma at some point. But yeah.
Well, yeah, the reason I went for Ice Ring after Earth Temple is simply because I had the... Like, if I combined my trips to Cabana and Ice Ring, that gave me 3 potential checks, whereas everywhere else was 2 or less. So it was just a numbers game.
That's
when I did that.
But yeah, there's a lot of checks in that area of the game in general. Like around Forest Haven, there's just so many locations. And Scaryolive getting his big key. So other than that, do you have any other comments about the seed, or do you want me to ask chat if they have an important question for you?
I mean, yeah, if chat has any questions, I can take them.
Yeah, chat, you are the guy. It's time to ask your questions, preferably relating to the game. Might not be the best time to ask a personal question.
No, Grandma wouldn't have been next. If I didn't get it at Ice Ring, I would have then gone to Great Fish, traded for the exotic flower, then gone to Needle Rock, and then gone back to Windfall. Then I would have done Fire Mountain, and then I would have finally done Grandma. Grandma was like the very last thing.
Grandma, last priority.
Oh yeah, after getting the boots and the Master Sword right after each other in Forbidden Woods, I was like, alright, we may be finishing this thing soon, but nope.
So I can see that the chat has been labeling your numbers play as some evilness.
What did I have for breakfast? I had a breakfast sandwich.
That's better than nothing.
Yeah, sorry guys, when Grandma's only like a top priority if I can get to her early in the run. Otherwise, she's just a lost cause most of the time.
Yeah, sadly Grandma is kind of a long check to do, because you don't only go to Grandma to heal her, you have to find a fairy, go to Grandma to heal her, and then wait for the mail to get there. Kind of a long thing to do. Yeah, we're working on hoping for a all Tingle statue run.
All Tingle statue. Yeah, we did get 3 of them. I don't know where the other 2 were.
Yeah, we got 3 Tingle statues, and on top of that, we had the Tingle chart. So we were all just rooting for Tingle. Also, someone asked, why the cast skin?
That's what my chat chose for me to wear during this run.
That's a pretty good reason, honestly.
They really wanted pink Cass for some reason.
I mean, it's a pretty pink.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just looks like a big parrot.
Giant parrot.
We're getting close to Toucan Sam. That's a good point from chat. You save Tingle from jail, but you don't save your home grandma.
Well, Tingle gives me 2 things. Grandma only gives me 1.
You guys can hear the numbers.
Randomizer is all about the statistics and numbers.
And one gamble from time to time. That's about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Scaryolive is now getting to the end of Wind Temple. And then he's gonna have to do Earth Temple, and then find his final Master Sword. He went for a lot of skips that he missed in Tower of the Gods, so that's kind of where he lost you.
Ah, okay.
It's kind of an important part of the run.
Well, yeah, I was also disappointed in myself that I didn't realize the last chest that I checked in what was it? In Tower of the Gods on the first floor was the small key, but it could have only been the small key based on my previous check, so I could have logically figured out that I could have skipped it, but I didn't.
Yeah, that is true. That's something that you can do when that's the last thing. Unless you want to do it the vanilla way, which I don't think a lot of people want to.
No.
I mean, if you know you're gonna die later in the dungeon, that can be a good thing, but I don't think you're at that level. That's a good question in chat. They're asking, what do you think are the most important tricks to practice to race in Wind Waker Randomizer?
I don't know if there's any trick that's singularly important. The Helmarok storage fight is a trick that you should definitely know because it saves a whole bunch of minutes in Forsaken Fortress and removes all the RNG from the fight.
Yeah, that's true. In general, I mean, I know what they mean, like individual tricks, but just learning storage in general seems like a good idea.
Yeah. Also, I would say the first floor skip in Tower of the Gods is pretty important also.
Very important also, indeed. Just saves a bunch of time. You can skip 2 rooms, I believe, that way.
Yeah, you skip both of the statue carrying segments
Yes,
on the bottom floor.
Skip those 2, and also, well, by doing that you kind of get less annoyed by the water cycles.
As far as routing on the fly, because of the tracker that we use, which tells me like which locations I have available to go to next, I typically just play a numbers game with that. Whichever location has the most stuff that I can go to, I'll just go there.
Yeah, it's a very good tracker. I think most of us use the tracker Woofer's Eve made.
Yeah.
It just gives you everything. Well, everything that isn't logic, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then sometimes, like, I'll know that I can get all of the chests in an area, even if the tracker says that I can't.
Yeah, with the new race mode, it's kind of useful to know a lot of tricks in dungeons, because if your tracker tells you that you can't finish a dungeon, but you know you can finish a dungeon, it's kind of required, usually.
Yeah. Also, to answer your question, or foxing around, I didn't feel like my Puppet Ganon was that bad. I mean, if you're used to seeing the ones that I do in Wind Waker HD, the Puppet Ganon fight in this version of the game is harder because I can't use gyro aiming to aim my shots.
Yeah. Gotta say that gyro aiming is very underrated. It's when you don't have it that you remember how good it is.
So, I mean, I thought my fight was, you know, perfectly acceptable for a race like this.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like, 5 shots for the first phase is always good. Like I told them, it's not perfection, but it's pretty close. And Mulgara is now dead. And we're at 7 Triforce shards out of 8 for Scaryolive. Next logical step should be our temple, because that's the one he's missing.
Yeah, he's also... Oh, does he not have the fire and ice arrows?
I do believe he does have them, but I just forgot to put them in the tracker.
Ah, okay.
Kind of forget a bit of things. He's taking a picture of that one. Oh, Scaryolive. But yeah, kind of doing the tracking and the commentating alone, so can be a bit rough.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Doing a good job.
Doing all right. Oh man, that sound. The beeping of low hearts.
Yeah, so he'll be finding the light arrows in Earth Temple, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, they were in her temple.
And the transparent chest in the first crypt.
Exactly. Pretty early in the dungeon, which is always nice in that dungeon.
Yeah, it seems like most of the important things we got in dungeons were early in the dungeon.
Yeah, that's kind of hot.
Like Tower of the Gods, we got the Skull Hammer and I believe the first Master Sword upgrade.
Yeah, the first Master Sword upgrade was also on the first floor.
Yeah, and then, well, Wind Temple we had to go a bit deeper, but Earth Temple was the light arrows in the first room.
Yeah, it was pretty good, honestly.
And then Forbidden Woods we had the Iron Boots and the second Master Sword upgrade.
Fast in the dungeon too, yeah. First thing on there, Tati was gonna show her a piece of the Triforce. Just to become a joke at this point. Man, gotta love that low-art beeping sound.
I've pretty much tuned that sound out by now. Like, it's not really something that gets registered with my brain.
Kinda like music when you work in retail. But yeah, when you hear a sound too often, I do believe that you just don't hear it anymore. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that, but congrats on the win. I should have said that first. Kinda late, but better late than never. So another question in the chat, Gymnast, what are your thoughts on this race randomizer format? Is it different from the randomizer round we used to watch, and everything like that?
I think it's definitely better than the format that we did for the last tournament, or at least the
first tournament.
The checks that we had for the first tournament and how everything was laid out in the game.
Yeah, the first tournament was a bit weird for that because every place's like every dungeon was in progression in a way until they were not. So we kind of had to bet on the right temples.
Yeah, it was a lot of gambling.
I mean, it's kind of the spirit of the randomizer, but I can understand why it's a bit sickening at some point.
Like, I definitely like the fact that the Triforce shards are at the end of 4 predetermined dungeons now. Because at least I know where I need to go, and I know that there will be something useful in the dungeon, even if that's the only thing.
Yeah, and also when you're in go mode, you know it's time to just show off major skips.
Yeah, that too.
That didn't happen tonight, but when it happens, it's kind of impressive to see how little walls do to keep you guys out. Because remember, guys, walls are a suggestion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who needs a wall? Apparently not Zelda.
I do like the group stage format of this tournament, though. It should make seeding the bracket much better.
Yeah, also it gives a chance for the players that are not as good to play at least 3 matches. Or 4 matches, I believe.
Yeah, 4 matches.
Yeah, 3 matches in your group, though.
Yeah, because we had a drop.
Sadly, not everyone has the time for those races. But yeah, I love the scary people on those groups in general. Kinda hard to tell who's gonna get into the actual bracket for the tournament. I remember thinking that first room was very annoying when I was a kid.
Yeah, this room with all the chews is it's an interesting challenge.
For a child's mind, it's pretty much impossible at first. When you don't know that light can do that to those chews, the black chews.
Yeah. Dark chews.
Dark chews. I do remember that when I learned that they were called chews, I started to call the yellow electric chews Pikachus instead.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does make sense. For a child, it was wonderful. But according to the manual, that's not the name for those things. It should be. I mean, Nintendo was the trademark. They could make it happen.
Probably could. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get going here.
That's no problem. Thank you for coming for that interview. And it was a good race. It was fun to see you do it. And I wish you good luck in your next races.
Thank you very much. GG's to Scaryolive and everyone who came out to watch the race today. Thank you very much. And hope to see you guys in whichever one I do next. So, see you later.
See you later. Now we have Scaryolive, which is still trying to finish his race. Going in and out from that first room, that we know have the light arrows in it. I am from Quebec in Canada, a little French-speaking place, so that's why I have a bit of an accent when I talk. Also, to answer the question from Prubass, the settings for those races is dungeons, puzzle secret caves, short side quests, free gifts, mail. We start with a sword, we have 4 rifle shards, and we're in race mode. Race mode means that only 4 dungeons from the 6 dungeons in the game will have progression items in them. The other ones, we can ignore them. We also have checks for a few more quality of life things, like we add a few warps between dungeons or bots. We have the full C chart reveal, instant tech boxes. We skip the boss rematches, and we have the Swift Sale, which has been added in the game. So chat, Woozy's still with me to watch Scaryolive finish that race. Just wondering how many of us there's is. No problem, Trubes. Always happy to answer questions. If you see something you don't understand, I can probably explain it to you. Unless it's maths, and I'm not very good at those. 2 plus 3 makes 5, and that's it for the day. That's a good question. It's kind of a mix of both. At the start, it was the SD version, the Wind Waker from the GameCube, but they added a few things that come straight from the Wind Waker HD. Like the movement has been changed to be more like the one from Wind Waker HD, which makes a lot of things easier. And also, we have the Swift Sail, like I mentioned earlier. The Swift Sail has been modded in the game, just so we go faster. Just did a small comment chat, which gives you a few links. One link for to see the bracket with challenge, the schedule with another link, and there's also a link, an invite for our Discord server from the Wind Waker Randomizer tournaments, which is a wonderful server where if you want to get into the game, learn new tricks, there's going to be people that are going to be able to help you. We also have a lot of information about how to install the Randomizer and play it yourself there. Also, if you want to follow our runners, we have Scaryolive, which is on the left, still playing. And we also have Gymnast. I have put their Twitch into this. They're not only on this server, but there is links on that server to get to them. If you can also just look up Lago Lunatic with Wind Waker Randomizer, and you should get to his GitHub, which is going to be which is where we're going to be able to download what you need to get started. Also, if for some reason, some crazy reason, you want to follow me, you can follow me at twitch.tv/mongol1. And if you want to follow my co-commentator, which is currently saving Grandma, you can go do it at twitch.tv/ninjahetman. So unfortunately, Scaryolive fell into that room, which is a room that you can actually just leave from top of the casket and then leave back and use your boomerang to get the item. But it's no big deal since Scaryolive actually has the light arrows, which makes that room pretty much trivial. That's also a nice skip. In this room, the mini boss room, you can just hookshot your way to the torch and skip that mini boss. It's completely optional. The only thing is you don't need to warp back to the entrance of the dungeon, but it's actually faster to do it. Unless you want to beat that mini boss. Scaryolive missing the grab on medley. So chats, while our friend Scaryolive gets back to the action, how has been your day? How has been your race? How do you guys feel? I want to know that. Also gonna take a little moment to thank our friends at Speed Gaming for hosting this tournament in a good part. There's gonna be more races coming up soon on those channels, I believe. Just let me look. The next match on the program is going to be on Thursday, March 7 at 8 p.m. EST. It's going to be a match between Woofer ZFG and Epic Yashi, and it's going to be on Speed Gaming. I don't know who's going to be the commentator yet, or the tracker even, but there's going to be a race at that time if you want to see more Randomizer. Scaryolive to opting to do the end of the dungeon the Venom way, opening that light, that ray of light, which is gonna put some light into the next room, where it's needed to complete a puzzle. How much time do you think Scaryolive is gonna take to finish that race? I'm gonna bet on 3 hours and 15 minutes myself. Just gonna take a moment to thank you guys for coming. This wonderful race, which is not finished yet. to have some action on Scaryolive's side. Because he might lose the race, but he's not gonna give up. Scaryolive getting a piece of art. Always nice to see when you don't really have any ways to heal up. Because pieces of art will heal you up as you take them. Scaryolive getting a bottle. Scaryolive playing that last song to break that last stone that is in his way. And then be getting stuck on the edge right there. So Scaryolive's gonna have to use Command Melody to get her down. Yep, it's a thing that can happen. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's kinda annoying. So yeah, Gymnast made it look easy earlier, but it's kinda hard to actually land medley on the top of that mirror. Our friend Scaryolive finally got it. It's actually something that was discussed before the tournament, and if somehow Bear Skipping SD gets found during the tournament, we won't be able to use it. Since the whole point of the randomizer is to get the tribe of shards to go defeat Ganon. For sure, if you found it, we will be happy, but we won't use it. Scaryolive is gonna get a second chest here. And it's another bottle. More and more bottles. More bottles to bottle up your feelings when you forget a piece of the Triforce in the boss. So yeah, since everything is very calm right now, I'm kind of feeling like a bit of a late night radio host. So I will take your calls right now. If you want to say something, it's time to say it in the chat. Your special demands. That's kind of interesting to see. You saw Scaryolive actually trying to use the light arrows against the Stalfos right there. But actually in Randomizer, the Stalfos are immune to this. Because we'll find out that if you kill the head without killing the legs first, it would soft lock the game. So the Stalfos are actually the one enemy in the game that is totally immune to light arrows. So chat, since we have a bit of time to discuss, I wanted to ask you guys, in Wind Waker, what is your favorite dungeon? You can take your time to think about it. It's a hard question. It's a good time to remind you that Speed Gaming has many channels. Speed Gaming 125, including also Speed Gaming Espanol, Speed Gaming French, Speed Gaming German, and Speed Gaming Portuguese. Also, the assuming maybe you're a fan of the Forsaken Fortress. Which one of the two fortresses do you prefer? The Forsaken Fortress 1 or 2? okay, the first or the second time you go there, you prefer sneaking or killing the enemies? And I say that was some of the most stressful sneaking I've done in my childhood. Every time I was getting caught by those moblins, I was just losing it. That's probably where I got my anxiety from. But it's a very fun dungeon nonetheless. It's just different. It's always fun to see Zelda games trying new stuff. Meanwhile, Scaryolive getting further into that boss fight. So he only has 3 more ghosts to kill on the next phase. Once again, the light arrows when I fight are wonderful to have. And it's the end for Jahala. Please, Scaryolive, do not forget that piece of the Triforce. Chat sent him positive vibes, so he doesn't forget that piece of the Triforce. Because if it happens, I will laugh for the next 12 minutes. Oh, that was close. And he picks up the piece of the Triforce. Proud of you, Scaryolive. Proud of you. So now Scaryolive only needs his last Master Sword upgrade to be in gold mode. Where do you think he's gonna go check first? So since this is the second big part of the race, we do know that currently the last Master Sword upgrade is in the Ice Ring Island. But the friend Scaryolive doesn't know that. So let's see what he does first. He starts this by capturing 2 fairies. And he's going to outset. Is he gonna do the thing that Gymnast didn't do? Is he gonna heal Grandma? Only one way to find out. Just watching the rest of this race. And Scaryolive is going to heal Grandma. He's doing it, well, he's proud. We're gonna see what Grandma had for us. Probably not gonna be much. This is not gonna be a sword, but damn, Grandma's gonna survive. Scaryolive gets the soup. That's not the random item that Grandma gives us. But at least someone saved Grandma, yes. Probus our friend Scaryolive took care of saving Grandma. So maybe now my co-commentators, Potato Mac, is gonna get back from his mission since someone did it for him. I do not believe he's gonna go back. But hey, Grandma is saved. That's the important part. And Grandma just had money for us. But a big chunk of money. 200 rupees. Because what good is it to save Hyrule if Grandma is dead and you're not rich? Now Scaryolive warping to Windfall. And he's gonna deliver some mail. Scaryolive is now getting the town flower for the training sequence. And the reward for delivering a love letter is a lovely piece of art. Should we pour art and soul into this letter? And another piece of art for Scaryolive. Just to remind everyone, we're now one item away from go mode. One final Master's upgrade is required for Scaryolive to defeat the King of Evil Ganondorf. And our first Scaryolive finally getting a nice check on Windfall Island, which is sadly for him just a rupee. So if you guys by numbers, just like Gymnast did, he should be heading for Cabana D now. Cabana Oasis. So it's been a while, so I don't actually remember what's in Cabana in the private oasis right now. So it's gonna be as much of a surprise to him than us. Unless you guys have a better memory than me, which wouldn't be surprising. So he's now in the basement of Cabana, and in the basement, there's actually quite a few skips you can do. And I think he's gonna use them. Seems to be getting ready for it. And that's the skip that you can get in that place. Basically, when you jump slash with the hammer, the game doesn't care if there's a wall in the way. If you hit a peg, you hit a peg. And that opens up the dungeon in reverse, basically. And he gets the second one. So what that allows us to do is to get the second chest first. And he gets his third empty bottle. So once you settle behind those ladders, you can actually aim for something. He's gonna aim straight for that chest, which is gonna take him straight to it. So a bottle and some rupees. And now he's heading straight to the right place. From Gymnast run earlier, we know that that ice ring is gonna have the last Master Sword upgrade. Right now, Scaryolive is heading straight to that place. Took a few checks, but he's there. So you shoot the fire arrow in the mouth of the ice dragon. You talk to King of Red Lions 2 times, and that's part of the skip. What do you guys want? He's a professional. So that's something we pretty much all do in the community. You can unfreeze that chest, jump on top of it, and then use that jump to get straight to the ice platforms. So right now, Scaryolive just fell. That is unfortunate, but he can jump right back into it. Gotta be careful with those turns though, because this island is the one place in the game that has actual ice physics. So if you turn too short, you will fall. Sadly, Scaryolive falling again into the ice cold water. We're getting closer to that fantastic last Master Sword upgrade from the Go mode. Once he gets that, it's just bosses to the end. Oh, Scaryolive opting to go the vanilla way and using the iron boots to get there. There's also another pretty skip that you can do by hookshotting straight to the chest. And Scaryolive finally gets his last sword upgrade. He's now in Go mode. And Scaryolive now warping to Tower of the Gods to get into that portal to Hyrule. So this is now in Hyrule Castle, which is not a very interesting location. in the randomizer because there's absolutely no checks in it. And he's gonna head straight for the barrier. And it's gonna be time for my favorite skip of the game, the barrier skip. He's gonna skip that barrier skip because it doesn't need that barrier skip. Scaryolive now, happily rolling away, knowing that he's in go mode. All he needs now is to defeat Ganon, Phantom Ganon, and Puppet Ganon. This is the last stretch of the race. So what Scaryolive is trying right now is to settle right into the loading zone. It's a very small skip, but it actually saves, I think, 5 frames. Here's the beauty of light arrows. Just say no to Phantom Ganon. You found the light arrows. We don't need him. So this is the last stretch before Puppet Ganon. With the light arrows, our runners are usually just shoot every enemy in the way. Then there's gonna be a very quick pit stop at the top to get some more arrows and to get some magic back. And then it's gonna be time for Puppet Ganon. It's time for phase 1 of the Ganon. Maybe the first phase, but it's actually the hardest one. So in the vanilla game, you're supposed to use a boomerang to get the tail of the Ganon on the floor. But it's actually even harder to aim at this when you do that. Kind of a weird difficulty spike in the game. Thankfully, our friend Scaryolive has access to unlimited magic thanks to power at Gymnast86. Scaryolive giving up on doing this the hard way and goes for the vanilla strat. But the vanilla strat, you have to break every single thread that holds our friend Propaganda in there. Then it becomes easy to aim. Oh, and this knife's the second shot. Remember guys, if your grandma gives you some soup, it might be a weird elixir of immortality. So always take the soup. And this is it for the first phase of Puppet Ganon. So like I said, this is pretty much the hardest phase of that fight. The two last phases are pretty much easy compared to this one. So in that phase, you have to wait and see where the ball of light is going to be when the gun falls. There's actually ways to shoot him when he's in the air, but it's not something that should be done. You're not sure you can do it. And the second shot of second phase. Scaryolive getting a much needed arrow refill from the bats, the keys. And is now down to the third phase, larva stage. First shot successful. Now brings a bit of gremlin soup. Get right back into action. Here's a beautiful thing. In that phase you can step up again by using bombs. And or... Oh no, Scaryolive getting unlucky. The tail of up again was in the wall. And it's over for Puppet Ganon. Now to my favorite part of the game. The dead silence of climbing up. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy that one. I'm not gonna say a word while it climbs up Ganon. And he's done climbing. Promise you guys I wouldn't say a thing while I was doing it. So right before going into that last fight with Ganon, he's gonna take a little sip of grandma soup. Because grandma soup gives you the ability to do it twice as hard, which can make that fight very fast. Everything is going well for now. And it gets it. But that's enough. It activates the second phase of the Ganon fight. The phase where you have to diminish Ganon bits while Zelda is sleeping on the ground. Now we're in the third phase. This is the phase where Zelda gets up, tells you she's gonna shoot arrows at you, and let yourself defend yourself. And now we're the last phase, decoration. It's over. So I believe we will soon have our runner joining us in the interview. Hello, Scaryolive and GG.
Hi.
You are done with that race right now.
That's a valid statement.
Yep. That is a valid statement. And welcome to that post-match interview.
Thank you for sticking with me all the way.
No problem, man. I wasn't feeling sleepy. So, how do you feel about that seed, Scaryolive?
The seed itself wasn't that bad, but I think my execution was not on the horizon today. It was nowhere near. Like, I know I'm not super good. I'm still learning the game, but like I feel like I play worse than I usually do.
Yeah, sometimes stress can do that to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was stressed because I knew from the get-go I was gonna lose anyway. So I knew coming up here, I just wanted to have a good seed. But I've been practicing a lot of Tower of the God, and like when I saw early Tower of the God, I was like, that's great. But in my practice, I always have like a potion.
Yes.
The soup. I always have the soup, and in this race, like the soup was nowhere near. I had in soup for I think I got soup at 3-hour mark. Like so.
Yeah. So basically, we talked about this with Gymnast, and he said it's very weird for a seed to have no bottles until like the 4th dungeon.
Yeah, like normally you have 4 bottles in the seed, so you always find one before or during your first dungeon. So like, I've played maybe like 20 seeds in my life, I don't know, and that's the first time I'm so long without. And like, it's so much complicated you have to think about your magic, you have to think about your health.
Yeah, I knew it was possible for a seed to be like this because the seed I'm playing for fun right now is like this.
Okay.
By the way, no, I didn't give you guys my seed. That would be
no.
mean. I would have done that. And Potato Mech actually rolled this one, so it's all of his fault.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
All 3 Tangle statues you saw are his fault.
I was dabbing when I saw them. I was like, that's if I kid you not, if I got the 2 others, I would have gotten the chest.
Honestly, I said to Potato Mech that if a runner was getting all 5, I was asking him to get back into the game and show me what was the price.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so in your Forbidden Woods, you forgot the piece of the Triforce next to the boss.
Yep, that's a Link to the Past problem, because in A Link to the Past you always get your crystal, like it falls from the sky. So it's
Yeah,
always like you get the item at the center and then you get the crystal right there. So I don't know. I just like didn't think for a minute, or I was thinking about something else. And when I got in the portal, I was like, oh my god, what have I done?
but
And
to
the
get a
problem
sword-
is like Forsaken Fortress, Forbidden Woods is the hardest dungeon to go back into. Like if it was Dragon Roost, it's not so bad. But this one, I'd struggle also to getting there the first time. I struggle in a lot of places that I don't struggle normally, like Bird's Peak Rock. Normally, I'd like get it like first try or second try. I didn't get it
yeah,
like.
it's a skip that's can be finicky. Like in general, my advice for that skip, like just let go of the joystick when you do it, or
Yeah.
else you're gonna do an input. It's gonna mess it up.
Well, I've
But-
never normally like the most I've been in a like when I started practicing it the first time. Maybe it was hard, but since I've learned it, I've never added more than 3 tries. Now I don't know what happened, but
It's all right. Some things happens in race.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm giving you some extra points for actually going back, taking a picture of the Triforce shard, and then
Well,
getting out.
I was in for the memes at this point. I knew I was lost. It was just a matter of how much. And I thought, honestly, I thought about forfeiting when I saw I was like I had only 2 for Triforce shard. I was like, oh, do I forfeit because I'm so far away? But I was like, oh, I'm gonna at least finish the dungeon, and then I just like, oh, I need only 2 items. So
Yeah. But do you want to laugh? Because you said you were in it for the memes for a while.
yeah.
So you forgot a piece of the Triforce, but guess who forgot a piece of the Triforce too?
Gymnast did also?
Gymnast forgot a piece of the Triforce too on Ja'ala.
Oh my god. Did he at least open the portal?
Yeah, he had the portals open.
Okay.
But just to add insult to injury, he went back, he didn't see it,
Oh no.
and then he checked into the menu to see what piece was missing, and he went straight back to the room a third time to
So
get it.
can you tell from the menu which one you are missing?
I do believe you can, but I can't tell, man. I can't tell.
Yeah. Because I've been in a situation where I forgot one, and then I didn't notice it until like the end of the game, and I went into 4 dungeons, and it was the 4th one that I got it. Like I couldn't tell which one it was. I didn't remember at all.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. But in general, except for like you said, your less than perfect execution, I think you did pretty well overall.
Yeah, well,
There's no-
I still wanted to try, like, that's the thing, like, I know I'm not good at this level, but I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to do all the casual strats. I want to still, like, practice the speedrun strats that I know and do them in the runs, even though it's not a time save at all. Like, I think, like, if I did Tower of the Gods without any, like, speedrun strats, I probably finish this dungeon 5 minutes faster. Like, but as the more I will do it, the more I will actually gain time because it's like practice. So
Yeah, it's One Winger Random is kind of a hard game to practice because there's no real resources to practice
Yeah.
it. So you kind of have to just try tricks while you practice and just try them until you get them.
yeah, and I'm gonna watch this race to see like what gymnasts do and the little things, and also
To be honest, you guys had exactly the same routes. Like we talked about this, and the seed was super linear.
yeah.
And yeah, it kind of just ended up being a difference in how well he did the tricks compared to you.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna take cues on placement and all the stuff.
It's always good to do.
Yeah.
So if the chat doesn't have a question for you, Scaryolive, chat, do you have a question for Scaryolive? While we wait, I'm gonna just spam those little links.
Woohoo!
So yeah, you guys now know I'm on Push to Talk. So, but yeah, if you want to follow the commentators, you can follow me at twitch.tv/mongo. I haven't streamed yet, so don't do this. Don't do this yourself. You can also follow my co-commentator Ninja, which is currently out to save grandma. Also,
my favorite kind of olive from the chat is I don't like olive at all. I don't eat olive ever. I just use it as my username because my real name is Oliver. So
he's scared of olives. He's scared of them.
Yeah, and the scary part. Yeah, that's a long story. But and then did I save grandma for the meat? No, I saved it for the. I wanted the soup, dude. Okay, as soon as I saw that bottle in the dungeon, I was like, next up, soup. Let's go, soup. And I thought it's an item, you know. So it could have been the Master Sword. I got scared at the end there because I skipped like the last chest in the dungeon because it's the big temple. One. Yeah, in her temple, the last one is like a long time. Like I don't know the how to do the skip, so I said like, oh, one chance in 27. I'm not taking it, and but then as when near the end there, when I had like 5 locations left, I was like, I hope it's not there because then I'm the biggest idiot.
Yeah, I kind of noticed you skipped that, but I just told the chat it's no big deal. There's nothing there. But yeah, in general, like we kind of were mad at Jim because he didn't save grandma.
He did the whole thing soupless.
Yep, he did the whole soupless. Wow,
soupless. Shit. Man, soupless. I'm not ready for that. Okay, maybe like in 2 years, because I'll keep playing this game. I'm gonna get better. I'm watch for me. I'm gonna slowly come to this level out of this guy, and then I'm gonna beat him, soupless.
I can attest to that because that guy is actually a pretty great runner in A Link to the Past Randomizer. So give him some time to learn, and he's gonna be right there.
I'm like a little bit higher than average, but there's a lot of way greater guys than me. I'm not like not near Andy level or Ben or whatever, but
still finished 4th at the French tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, in general, that was a pretty great run. You have a lot of room to improve, but it's always a good thing. Like you can just look at other races, pick up tricks, learn them, and just become greater and greater.
And I hope my presence in this tournament inspire people to pick up this game because it's great. And if you've never speedrunning before, or if you're just like starting and you feel like, oh, I cannot do it, like just go for it then and have a blast. And that's what I'm doing. And even though I know I have no chance in this tournament, I'm enjoying every moment of it, and it's great motivation to keep learning and making friends in a community.
I'm also gonna say it, but the Wind Waker Randomizer isn't only for runners. You can also play it for fun. It's a very good experience.
Oh yeah,
it's incredibly fun to play. There's a bunch of settings that are not in the tournaments that are just way fun to do, and you can do this on your own and with friends. Make your own races with your own rules. Do what you want, man.
For sure.
But yeah, I do believe that's about all the time we had.
Yeah.
Good race, Scaryolive, GG. Or just to use our language, I'm just gonna say GG.
Merci.
Pas de problème. And now we're gonna go back to the language everyone else understands. And we're gonna wish you a good night. Thank you for coming to the race. You can follow the runners. You can follow the commentators. You can get into the Discord server for the Wind Waker Randomizer tournament. And we wish to see you another time.
Yeah, don't forget to follow Speed Gaming 1 through 5 and to 6. Because thanks to them for hosting the race, and thank you for commenting, and have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to do something weird, you can go for Speed Gaming French, Speed Gaming Portuguese, Speed Gaming German, and Speed Gaming Spanish.
Yeah. I'm often on Speed Gaming French. I do a lot of commentary there for Link to the Past, and also in the French tournament. So if you speak French, come join.
Yep, it's a blast. I don't even play the game, and I love that community.
Yeah.
Well, good night, Scaryolive. Good
Good
night,
night.
chat, and we will see you next time.